Hello. So the other day I got a 5.1 surround sound receiver, and it's the Yamaha HTR-2071. It's a pretty simple receiver. Same thing with the back here, it's pretty simple. I connected this receiver to my computer, and I don't use the optical cables here, you know, the SPDIF or SPDIF, because it doesn't have enough bandwidth for multi-channel lossless music and stuff. It can handle like 2-channel stereo lossless, but not multi-channel. So, and it's also easier to set up this surround system with the HDMI as well. So from the graphics card, my RTX 3060, the HDMI port goes to input 1 here, and then I have an old monitor, 17-inch monitor connected to the output here. And it's a little bit weird when you have like this monitor connected to it, because it has a different resolution. It has like 1280 by 1024 instead of 1920 by 1200. It's an old 4.3 monitor. So when the monitor is off, the receiver shows up as a playback device in the sound settings. But if you turn on the monitor, the sort of receiver disappears and the display shows up as a playback device instead. I've tried to do this recording so many times, so the settings here might be different. So you need to set up Windows for surround sound as well, because by default it's set to stereo. So you need to go into the sound settings. So you have the speaker icon down here at the clock. Right click on it and select sounds. And you have the playback tab here. And right now you can see that I already have the amplifier as default sort of player. By default it only shows up as HTR-2071, but I actually double clicked on it and I added the Yamaha to it. I also clicked on the change icon here, because by default the icon is a TV. But I don't think the amplifier looks like a TV, so I just switched to that icon. And then, okay. So now you need to set it up for surround sound, and you have to right click on it, and you have the first option here, configure speakers. And by default it says stereo. And you need to set it up. I have a 5.1 amplifier, so I got 2 options here. First one is with the surround speakers on the sides, and the second one is they are at the back. And this is the way I have set it up. And if you have a 7.1 surround amplifier, of course you select that one. If you have all the speakers connected, of course. So I have this one. And the next one, you select what speakers are connected. If you don't have a subwoofer connected, you just deselect that one. I have it connected, so next. And then you need to select what speakers are full range speakers. And what does that mean? It means that you have big speakers, they usually stand on the floor. Non-full range speakers are usually called satellite speakers, and they usually are on a stand. I have small speakers as surround speakers and the center, so I just deselect the surround speakers as full range, and then you click next and you're done. And it might be that you have like a different device as your default speakers, so you might want to change that as well. You know, you right click on it and set as default device. So now you're basically done setting that up. But here's a little weird thing. As I said before, if I have the monitor off, the monitor that is connected to the receiver, if that is powered off, the amplifier shows up like this as a device. If I actually turn it on, let's see if it actually works right now, because the screen will go black for a couple of seconds here. Normally your monitor, or the monitor that is connected to the receiver, will show up here as a device instead of the amplifier. So what you can do, it will show up, it's my 17 inch is called a Dell 170 something, and yeah, so what you do on that, you basically double click on it and you can change the name. I changed it to the same name as the receiver. I also changed the icon, same thing, from TV to this device. And OK. And you need to set it default as well. And you need to do the same thing again with that stuff. You need to configure it as a surround system. And you're done. And yeah, when you turn it off, let's see if it works again. The monitor should go black for a couple of seconds. Like that. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but that's the way it is. When you turn on and off the monitor that's connected to the receiver. And if I go to Windows display settings here, you right click on the desktop and select display settings. You see that I have 3 monitors right now. And so yeah, the number 1 is my main monitor. Number 3 is actually my secondary monitor. And number 2 here is actually the amplifier. And the default resolution for that is 1920 by 1080. But let's close this. If I actually turn this on, let's see if it works without crashing the computer. Yeah, there we go. If I go back to display settings, you now see it looks a bit different here. So number 2 is now to the left of the main monitor, and the resolution is also different, 1280 by 1024, and that's because it's the monitor that is connected to the receiver that shows up. So it's a bit, yeah, weird, but it remembers the settings at least. Because that 17-inch monitor, it's on the left of my main monitor. So yeah, it's it's a bit weird. But yeah, you have to, even if the monitor is turned off, the amplifier actually shows up as a display as well, and it needs to be a display. I tried to disable that display, but that also disabled the audio. So you need to have the display enabled as well. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but you only need to set this up once. And now you are basically done with everything. And of course, before you actually do this on your computer, you need to set up the speakers on the receiver. That's kind of set up, you know, the distance between you and the speakers and whatnot. So, but this is how you actually set it up on Windows. So yeah, catch you later.